Forget Conor McGregor. Loner Kavanagh is the UFC star you should be watching this weekend. Ilia Topuria and Jon Jones have tipped him to be the next UFC superstar, and he's going to steal the show on a Conor McGregor undercard. Conor McGregor may be fighting this weekend, but there's another fighter on the undercard who demands our attention. After 5 years away from the octagon, McGregor is set to return to the octagon in the early hours of Sunday morning for a blockbuster bout with fellow former champion Max Holloway. Elsewhere on the card, the likes of the ever-popular Paddy Pimblett and former champions Robert Whittaker and Cody Garbrandt will feature in a night that promises to deliver excitement. Close icon. However, away from the spectacular return of McGregor or clashes involving former champions and superstars, one of the UFC's most exciting talents is set to compete in a fight that might just cement his place as a future champion. Loner Kavanagh, 27, had an unlikely start to his mixed martial arts journey, first starting training when he was 8 years old after his parents met doing martial arts. But it wasn't easy to convince the London-born youngster to pick up the gloves and start training, as he admitted to being scared after watching his dad training and coaching. Speaking exclusively to Sport Bible, Kavanagh said, "I started training martial arts when I was 8. Both my parents did martial arts, so that's how they met. They met through doing martial arts. But when I was younger, I was too scared to do anything. My dad would take me to the class, and I'd love to jump in, mess about in the classes, but as soon as it comes to actually doing anything, I just ran away. Then, having an Asian mum, I got to the age where she was like, 'No, you're doing it,' and ever since then, I never looked back. I loved it. Then, I kind of just kept training, kept doing it. I met my coaches, Jack and Ash Grimshaw, then met Brad. And then fast forward a few years, I'm now here." Kavanagh made his professional debut in 2019 and immediately announced himself as an exciting young prospect with a second-round TKO victory over Glody Letusiva. He went on to win another 4 fights in a row before catching the attention of UFC president and CEO Dana White and earning a spot on the Contender Series, where he made light work of Antoine Ho with a first-round knockout to earn his UFC contract. Just 3 months later, Kavanagh made his UFC debut with a unanimous decision win over Jose Ochoa before returning on the undercard of Leon Edwards vs. Sean Brady in London in March 2025 with another unanimous decision victory over Felipe dos Santos at the O2 Arena. And it's here that he caught the attention of one of the UFC's biggest names, as an impressed Ilia Topuria shouted out Kavanagh during an appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience. "There's a guy coming up at 125. He fought in the last PPV in London. His last name is Kavanagh in the 125. He's going to be a problem in that division. He's a very skillful fighter," Topuria told Rogan. Of course, it didn't take long for the clip of Topuria's shoutout to go viral online and reach Kavanagh himself, who at the time was still just 2 fights into his UFC career. "Yeah, it's insane, you know? I'm very grateful for everything that's happened. It feels crazy seeing Ilia, who I kind of look up to, giving me a shout-out on Joe Rogan was awesome," Kavanagh exclusively told Sport Bible. Last time out, Kavanagh stepped in on just 3 weeks' notice to face former flyweight champion Moreno after the Mexican's original opponent Asu Almabayev withdrew because of injury. "It was like 6 a.m. my time, 6:30 a.m. my time. I got a call from the coach. He never calls me at this time," Kavanagh explained while recalling the experience. "Obviously, we get on a group call to talk about it, and I have such a good team around me. I have such an amazing team around me that I was like, look, if you think we've got this, then we've got this, let's go. And then we all came to an agreement, and we're like, fuck it, why not? I literally prayed for opportunities like this, and to get there, and when the opportunity is in front of me, I can't be like, actually, you know what, I don't think I want to do it because of the pressure. You have to." In doing so, Kavanagh launched himself into superstardom as he stepped in and beat the former 2 champion, who is still widely regarded as one of the top contenders in the division, in his own backyard. And he also caught the attention of another of the UFC's greatest ever fighters. Straight after the Mexico fight, everything's going crazy, and suddenly my manager's FaceTiming someone and he goes, "Look who wants to speak to you." And I'm just seeing Jon Jones sitting in a car, like complimenting my kicks and stuff. I was like, what is going on? It was like one of those pinch me moments. It was so cool. He's been at the top for so long. He's someone I used to watch from when I was young, and seeing him like on FaceTime talking to me was just surreal. Lone Kavanagh ready to secure a title shot at UFC 329. Shortly after the start of the main card of McGregor v Holloway 2, Kavanagh will make the walk to the octagon for his next UFC fight, and one that could secure his spot as the next title challenger. The 27-year-old is set to face former title contender and current number 4 ranked Brandon Royval in a fight that could prove to be the best of what is already a spectacular card. I've said it time and time again, but Brandon's been up there at the top for a while. If you want to be the best, you've got to fight the best, Kavanagh told Sport Bible. And that's exactly what I want, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm always looking for a finish, right? And if it comes, I'm going to take it. But it's going to be an exciting fight. I don't think either of us have ever had boring fights, so I'm looking forward to it a lot. Currently, the men's flyweight division in the UFC is one of the most exciting in the sport, with several fighters all in with a chance of holding UFC gold in the near future. And although it is widely expected that former champion Alexandria Pantoja will get the next shot at current champion Joshua Van, rematching their previous fight that saw Pantoja lose his belt due to a freak injury, Saturday night's winner could be next in line. How to watch UFC 329, McGregor v Holloway 2. UFC 329, McGregor vs Holloway 2 takes place on Saturday, July 11, 2026, at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The early prelim fights are scheduled to begin at approximately 10 p.m. BST, with the prelim card itself underway from 12 a.m. BST, perfect timing for England fans watching the World Cup quarter-final clash with Norway. The main card is expected to commence from 2 a.m. BST, with Kavanagh's clash with Royval second on the card, likely to take place around 2:45 a.m. McGregor and Holloway are then expected to make the walk to the octagon from around 5 a.m. BST. UFC 329 is being shown live in the UK on TNT Sports box office at a cost of £19.99.